the Asha'ira. Until the Asha'ira, they have been afflicted with the Mu'tazila. The Asha'ira, as we mentioned, that they are those who they negate, they affirm the names of Allah, and they affirm the attributes of Allah except Sab'ah. Tayyib. They only take 7 names of attributes of Allah, because these are the ones that coincide with their intellect. So the Ash'ari, barakallahu fikum, this is mainly their belief system. So he said, indeed, the Ash'ari, they have been ta'atharu, they have been I just said the word. Affected. They have been affected by the Mu'tazila, meaning the Mu'tazila rub on them, so they start having the same belief, because that the Mu'tazila at the first generation, they believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speak. They believe that Allah speak, but the latter generation of the Mu'tazila, that they, barakallahu fikum, they will say nothing. As the Shaykh hafidhahullah mentioned, he say awailuhum kanu, he say that the first of them, they used to say yaquluna al-kalam huwa sifatun qa'imatun bidhatillah. This is what they used to say at first, that the kalam, it is a sifat that is qa'ima bidhatillah, that the speech, it is a attribute that is standing, that is there, that is present with the essence of Allah. They say that the sifat, the kalam, the speech, is a sifa, is an attribute that is there, tayyib, with the essence of Allah, with the essence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Lakin hadha al-Quran laysa kalamuhu. But where the Ash'ari, they go also wrong, is that they say that this Quran is not the speech of Allah. But yet they ascribe that Allah, yani they ascribe the speech to the essence of Allah. But amma this Quran, they say it is not the speech of Allah. They say it is not the speech of Allah. Innama huwa hikayatu lil kalam. But rather it is the narration of the speech of Allah. It is the narration of the speech of Allah. Now there is a big difference between something being the narration of the speech of Allah and the speech of Allah. Right? But them, they say it is a narration of the speech of Allah. وَكَلَامُهُ صِفَةٌ قَائِمَةٌ بِذَاتِهِ لَيْسَ بِحَرْفٍ وَلَا صَوْتٌ وَلَكِنْ مَا تَكَلَّمَ. This is what they say, the Ash'ari. They say كَلَامُهُ صِفَةٌ, that the speech of this Allah has indeed a speech that is present with His essence, بِذَاتِهِ. But they say لَيْسَ بِحَرْفٍ, it is not words. وَلَا صَوْتٌ, and it is not speech, it is not sound. It is not words, it is not sound. وَلَكِنْ مَا تَكَلَّمَ. But they say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He doesn't speak. Now this is a great contradiction. A person will have even a problem to understand, how is this, you talking about many contradictions in your statement. You say the kalam is present in the sifat of Allah, in the dhat of Allah. Alaikum salam. You say it is present in the dhat of Allah, but you say it is not harf, and it is not also that which you a sawt, a voice. But you say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't speak. He say hadha al-Quran laysa kalamuhu. They say that the Quran is not the speech of Allah. The Shaykh hafidhahullah, he say nas'alullah al-afiyah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His ease and rectification. He say waman, and whoever. He say waman awakhiri al-asha'ira, and from the later part of the asha'ira, man sarraha bi anna al-Quran makhluq ma'a al-asaf. He say, but you find some of the latter part of the asha'ira, they went straight and uncut evil. They say straight that the Quran is created, unfortunately. This is what they say straight up, that the Quran is created. So this is the statement of the of the latter part of the Asha'ira. Amma the first generation of the Asha'ira, ماذا قالوا? They say the Quran, طيب, that the speech of Allah, it is present with the that of Allah, with the essence of Allah, but without harf, without sawt, without voice. But it is hikaya, it is hikayatan li kalamihi, it is a narration from the speech of Allah. So, but the latter part of the Asha'ira, ماذا قالوا? They say sarahatan, they say completely, without going to this gymnastic that the first generation went. They say that أن القرآن مخلوق, that the Quran is created, والعياذ بالله. Shaykh Rabee, he say فالقرآن كلام الله ليس بمخلوق, that the Quran indeed is the speech of Allah and it is not created. وكلام الله كله ليس بمخلوق, and the speech of Allah, there is nothing that is a creation of it. Nothing of the speech of Allah is a creation. Nothing from the speech of Allah is a creation. وَهَؤُلَاءِ لَمَّا بَدَأُوا بِهَذِهِ الْفِتْنَةِ يَقُولُونَ كَلَامُ اللَّهِ خَلَقَهُ بِغَيْرِ مَحَلٍ. So when this individual, they wanted to misguide the people, they first started that it is indeed kalamullah. Shuf, they say the speech of Allah. Right? The speech of Allah, khalaqahu, he created it, bighayri mahal, without a space. Without a space. Without a, barakallahu fikum, a place. طيب, Allah created the Quran, right, without a place. Meaning, the Quran is in no place. The Quran is in no place. طيب. Now, something that Allah created that doesn't have a place, that you cannot pinpoint, right? You cannot say it is in here. Is that something, barakallahu fikum, that an individual can say? You say that this is a creation of Allah, but yet it doesn't have no space. It doesn't have no place. It doesn't exist on a place, but it is a created being, but it doesn't exist on a place. So the Shafidahullah, he say, وَيَقُولُونَ, they say also, kalamullah, they say it's the speech of Allah. Right? They say it's the speech of Allah. Shuf, they say it's the speech of Allah. But what do they say is, that خَلَقَهُ بِغَيْرِ مَحَلٍ, he created it without no place. So here, لَكِنَّهُ كَمَا يَقُولُ, as that they say, it is said, he say, نَاقَةُ, and they start giving out some shubuhat, like they say naqatullah, the she camel of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the she camel of Allah, right? The she camel of Allah. Likewise, wa baytullah, the house of Allah. Now this is the same way they are saying the speech of Allah, kalamullah, right? Because we know that the naqa, the she camel, was what? Created. Right? The she camel was created. Who can tell us something about the she camel? The naqatullah. The she camel that is mentioned. What about it? Something distinct about the she camel. Muhammad. Omar. Sambala. Salih, aywa, number one. What else? Muhammad. Right, it's one of the signs of Allah. Ibn Ahsanta, it came out of a rock. It came out of a rock. The she camel that Allah called Naqatullah, it came out of a rock. It came out of a rock. Aba Asma. I'm sorry? That's the pool of Salih type. Naam. But here, the most amazing part here is what? It came out of a rock. It came out of a rock. It came out of a rock. Allahu Akbar. A camel coming out of a rock. Alright? A camel coming out of a rock. That shows that Inna Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir. That is a refutation for this Zakir night, full Zakir night, saying that Allah, I can name 1,000 things that Allah cannot do. Right? And this is why it is important, barakallahu fikum, for the one that is teaching the truth, to also at the same time warn against evil. And more so the evil that is more, that the people that he is with, they are uncounted more. They are more familiar. They are more to in their daily lives and the like.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على السلام
حول ولا قوة إلا بالله.
حي على السلام
حول ولا قوة إلا بالله.
حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Cover your mouth. Cover your mouth. So like the last part of the Asha'ira, that from the Shubuhat, is that they will say that it is the speech of Allah. From the first generation, I would say it's a speech of Allah, but it is Kalamullah created, khalaqahu Allah bighayri mahal. They will say that it is a creation of Allah, but Allah created without a place. And they will say it is as you will say naqatullah, the she camel of Allah, or you will say the Baytullah, the house of Allah. He say ay min idafati al makhluq ila al khaliq, to attach the created being to its creator. Same thing. So now they say that when you say Kalamullah, it is that same pattern with Naqatullah. Because without a doubt, the camel is created. Right? Without a doubt, it is created. So now they say that Naqatullah is the same as Kalamullah. It's the same as Kalamullah. Wal-iyadhu billah. The Shahafidahullah, he say, وَهَذَا مِن تَلْبِيسِهِمْ وَكَذِبِهِمْ. And this is from their lies and their deceptions. From their lies and from their deceptions. Now, if a person is not well grounded, they wanna play with your aqidah. They can pull this trigger. They can pull this trick about saying, well, how about Naqatullah? That's the same as Kalamullah. How about Baytullah, the house of Allah? Ain't it the same form as Kalamullah? You will say, yes, it is. Now they get you in that. طيب. قال Imam Ahmad, he mentioned وَلَيْسَ بِمَخْلُوقٍ, and it is not created. وَلَيْسَ بِمَخْلُوقٍ, and it is not created. Why did he add that? It was in refutation almost, barakallahu fikum, to the Asha'ira. طيب, the latter generation, when they will say Kalamullah خَلَقَهُ بِغَيْرِ مَحَلٍ. That's why Imam Ahmad rahimahullah, he mentioned وَلَيْسَ بِمَخْلُوقٍ, it is not created. Straight up. He said Al-Quran Kalamullah ma yakfi. Lesh. He said just to say the Quran is the speech of Allah, he said that's not enough. He said lesh. Why is not enough? To just say the Quran is the speech of Allah, why is it not enough? He said لِأَنَّ الْجَهْمِيَّةِ وَالْمُعْتَزِلَةِ, because the Jahmiyyah, the Mu'tazila, he say الَّذِي يُنْكِرُ أَنَّ الْقُرْآنَ كَلَامُ اللَّهِ يَقُولُ كَلَامُ اللَّهِ. Because those who they deny that it is the speech of Allah, they will say it is the speech of Allah. Because those who deny that it is the speech of Allah, they will say it's the speech of Allah. Just like the Mu'tazila, the Asha'ira, they say Naqatullah